if a lion takes over a pride, it kills all the male cubs and
That's
lets the
right.
female cubs live, so that he can have male cubs that are his.
Isn't that also a thing that is present in human beings where right after birth, the dad is supposed to be able to recognize the baby as like their own, or like they see that it's their own so that they don't kill it?
That was my
I,
experience.
I'm here with Lishy Nutter, and today we're talking fatherhood is work with friends who love to give each other the business.
It was weird, man. It was fucking weird when I saw my kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Weird,
oh,
like
really?
cone head and blood, and they wipe him off and everything, but it's still like he's just come out of a big wound.
I definitely saw
And
similarities in my daughter.
that was my baby.
Yeah.
That was my fucking, and it was weird, like the same type of feral feeling when I get scared of a possum or a bear.
Mm.
That same innate thing, it's in there. It's fucking in there. And when I held my kid for the first time, it was fucking there, just like you guys were saying. Weird.
It was a weird experience for me as well. I never linked it to like some biological or like animalistic, like if I don't recognize this as mine, I'm gonna kill it because we're only gonna breed my babies. But I definitely knew like, oh, that's my daughter. I could see the similarities, like, oh, she's got my eyes, or she has my feet, oddly enough, unfortunately for her. Yeah, it was definitely a weird feeling. And I know what you're talking about with the fear. I don't know if I've ever been as afraid as when we left the hospital for the first time, and we weren't driving. We were in Chicago, and we took an Uber, and that was the scariest fucking Uber ride of my entire life. And I'm sure she was going the speed limit, but it felt like she was driving like an absolute maniac. So terrifying. What an experience, though, right? They literally just give you a human being. There's no instruction manual or anything, and they're just like, "All right, good luck. You were here for 2 days."
We got
Good luck.
home. He was sleeping. We put the container on the floor, the baby container, and he was sleeping, and we looked at each other. We're like, what now? Like, what the fuck do we do? And that was pretty weird. Eileen's never gotten over it. And the first pediatrician appointment, the doctor said something to me that has stuck with me and really, really resonated with me. As we were leaving, he said, enjoy him. I'm like, I never thought of that. Even though there's parts of it that really suck and are, there's ups and downs and everything, but the experience is amazing and fun and cool, and it's the best thing I've ever been involved in. And I've raced stock cars, so that's saying a lot.
Kids and stock cars, kids all the way. I hear you though. Especially like it was so hard. Like the first 6 weeks to, I guess really it was like the first 2 months of sleep deprivation. It was scary. Like I thought I was losing my mind. Like I've never felt crazier in my life. The lack of sleep and what it does to you over a prolonged period of time is seriously no joke. And all my friends are just like, oh, soak up the time, cherish every moment, just, live it up, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm just like, dude, this is so fucking hard. I just want her to get older and be able to, take care of certain things and this to get easier. But looking back on it, like, and, she just turned 6 and it goes so fast. And like, those moments are like those phases that they're gone forever, like you have that certain time and then it's gone.
My buddy turned me on to a book that I didn't read, but he was explaining the premise to me, and it was called, like, I can't remember what it was called, but it described the last time. There's going to be a last time that you change his diaper. There's going to be a last time that he holds your hand when he crosses the street. There's going to be a last time where you walk him to school. There's going to be a last time when he's in the car seat, right? And it's like when I was given that piece of information, I'm like, I want to get every fucking one of them that I'm entitled to. I want all the good ones. But I'll tell you, potty training my kid, I thought was going to be the worst thing ever. It was like somebody had smeared broken glass on the toilet seat. Like he would shriek. And I'm like, I hear parents talk about teenagers. I'm like, there's nothing worse than this. There is. My kid's 16. And it's like, he's supposed to individuate, but I still want his time, like this weekend he left, like me and my wife are split, and he left early, and it was like, because he didn't have the right snacks. Like we went Friday night and got snacks that he wanted. And then Sunday morning, they weren't the right snacks. I'm like, are you leaving because of the food? He's like, yeah. And this is the thing about parenting, or maybe it's about being a Jew or a Catholic, but I was like, if you want to leave because the food ain't good, get the fuck out. I'm fine. I didn't say it to him, but I'm like, and I was like, great, leave. And then I felt guilty for not feeling guilty. You want to talk about meta?
Oh man, I'm experiencing. She's 6 and she's already getting too old for my jokes and my humor. I'm not the funniest person in the planet to her anymore already, and that is tough because every single thing I said or did was absolutely hilarious, and man, that feels good. Oh, it feels so good when your kids just think you're the coolest, funniest. And I really realized it probably last week. We're sitting on the couch and I'm just trying to be silly and make jokes with her, and she looks at me and she goes, "Dad, whatever." And I'm just like,
Brett.
"You're 6, dude. I'm supposed to have at least like 5 more years of this or something."
You know, my favorite relative was my grandma, who consistently throughout my whole life talked to me as if I was an intelligent human being, right? There wasn't a lot of baby talk and stuff, but there was encouragement when I did something good. But I always got the feeling that she considered me intelligent and relevant and important. You know, I got that feeling from her. And not being like babying and stuff like that. So I try to have that with my kid, like have intelligent conversations with them and treat them the way my grandma treated me, at least try to. And I find that to be really rewarding. Like him and I argue about politics. We are on the same side of the left and right spectrum, but we still find a way to argue. And I'm like, oh yeah, fathers and sons are supposed to argue about politics, even if we're on the same side. So it's like, oh, we're doing what we're supposed to do. It's okay. It's all right, you know?
That's fine.
But like this, he's 16, but like this Saturday he was over and I was taking a nap and I just pounded on, he stuck his head in to probably ask for some food, and I pounded on the bed and he came and laid in the bed and chit-chatted with me for a while. And you know, that's maybe that's the last time that he's ever gonna, like, you know.
Dude, I'd probably cry if I read that book. You said it was a book, right? That you were referencing? I'd probably cry.
It's I don't think it's a feel good book. It's like a like make you think book, you know.
For sure.
Like
I'm having a
relish it, man.
I think one of my challenges with her right now is that she's at this age where she wants to win at things. And as her dad, I don't ever want her to beat me at anything, but she's very sensitive. And so I either have to make a decision. Do I want to manage her feelings from losing and the crying and the hurt that brings, or do I want to go through even letting my daughter beat me, which is for some reason, you know, and I've heard the jokes about it before, like how, you know, dads never want their kids beat them at anything. You'll never beat me at basketball. You never beat me at anything. And man, I don't ever want to let her beat me at anything. She's not supposed to beat me. I right now, my choice is often I just manage her feelings because I'm not going to lose. So sorry, Nova, you're not beating me at Uno yet. Dude, I get her face and I'm like, Uno.
So mean. She's gonna go to therapy because of this. What are you doing?
That's what I say to Max. That's another year on the couch for you.
This is weird. This is child abuse. I'm calling someone.
DCFS.
No, I don't like it. Like I had a girlfriend. She played pool with me, but I would win, and I'm terrible at pool. And then I found out she was letting me win because of that thing where you don't like when
you don't let guys lose.
Yeah. And I was like, what are you doing that for? I don't care. I'm terrible at pool. I told her, I was like, stop letting me win. I don't give a shit. And then she just sank every single one every time.
Yeah.
But it's like, who fucking cares? I like watching you do it.
I don't care.
See, I feel the same way. I love it when, like, I'm impressed. I like being impressed by my significant other. Like, if they're good at something, that's awesome. However, I dated an incredibly competitive and kind of like a tomboy. Like, she wanted to beat me at everything that guys were good at, and she would rub it in my face constantly, and that fucking sucked. So it's like, cool, be good at it. If you beat me, awesome, but don't make me feel like a fucking, like, don't emasculate me constantly when you beat me over and over and over again.
Well,
don't be cruel.
Don't
be a poor winner
about it.
That's why she was doing it, is because she thought that would be emasculating or something. But I didn't care. But I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you do Rubidinsky, that's too far, I would imagine.
That's just being an asshole.
Yeah.
It definitely made me feel like, hey, be a little man.
Boner killer.
It really was. That's what I should be like, dude. Do you want to come later? Because you're not.
So I have tallied our votes, and feel free to write in the comments section who you think is never right in this episode. I don't have kids, but thanks to you two, I'm not even sure I want any.
You're never right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more content from the Never Right podcast.